Shalom Akim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Okakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Grammy Stone Ruel, and to the Akim around the four corners of the earth. Shalom, 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 shalom. Barakatam. This is Bram Nash DC Camp, short lesson for the hopeful elect in this last days and times. And, the drama between the EU countries, man, it's just getting funnier. All right, so you see the caption on the screen talks about the United States involvement in eavesdropping on the so-called EU countries, man. All right, so you just have to be aware, man, that there's division among them. All right, and that's exactly what happens in the rulership of the ungodly. There is no faith, there is no confidence, there is no stability. All right, it's always turmoil. All right. When the book of Ezra tells you about the kingdom of the eagle was full with violence. All right. So I'm going to get a quick precept. It's going to be from the book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 20. And it reads, it says, where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. All right. And that's all, you have to keep in mind, man. There's always something going on, man. Between between these Edomites, man. Just can't, be at peace with each other, man. It's always one person trying to get over the next person, and then they end up having arguments. They end up destroying each other. And, hey, that's how the Lord set them up, man. When they're chasing after worldly glory, they want to control the earth so bad that they forget about the righteousness of the Most High. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Okakadash. These are the results you get. Our people learn about it the hard way, and these Edomites are going to learn twofold. All right, because there is no redemption of their union. The Lord has already set them up for failure and eradication. All right, so they're going to keep on fighting within each other, and they're going to end up turning against America, just like the book of Revelation tells you. It tells you that the beasts shall hate the whore. All right, and another precept I would like to read will be from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 7. Okay. And it reads, it says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. All right. So when the nations of the world go along with America's leadership, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to end up holding the short end of the stick, and the world gets crazier, because Scripture talks about having faith in an unfaithful man in time of trouble. It's like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. It's painful, it's unbearable, it's dangerous, man. And that's a testament, or let me say testimony, against Esau. I'll play this clip real quick.
Well, to get more on reaction from Germany, let's bring in Emmanuel Schaz in Berlin. Emmanuel, first of all, tell us what's come out of this investigation.
Well, the news that the NSA had been spying on top EU politicians wasn't new. In fact, this came to light as early as 2013. What's extraordinary now, what came to light yesterday following this joint investigation led by several media, is that the Danish government knew about it and even cooperated with the NSA, enabling the NSA to use its listening base near Copenhagen to wiretap submarine cables and to spy on top politicians, including Chancellor Angela Merkel and German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier. And as you mentioned, the Danish government seems to have known about the extent of the cooperation between its intelligence services and the NSA as early as 2015, but failed to inform the German government about their findings, and that is what is going to create tensions between Denmark and Germany now.
Emmanuel.
The funny thing is it's not a big secret. They all know that they're all looking out for opportunities to spy on each other. And that's how this Edomite society is, man. They can't stay still. They're always about being the busybodies, you know. And that's the reason why, you know, you can't put your trust in a system that has no stability. You know, the scripture tells us that, you know, they can't sleep, you know, until they've done something mischievous. And that's the reason why, you know, brothers got to be careful, man. That, you know, you learn to, you know, walk with your own hands and don't get involved with any of what you call these quick gets rich hustles, man. Because these Edomites, man, they're watching everything, especially for those that are men of the Lord preaching the gospel on the highways and byways. They want to know everything about your investment accounts. They want to verify everything, your phone number, your emails, you know, your property taxes and all that stuff. They want to verify everything, your social security. You know, they want to know everything. And that's the reason why they want to have the so-called New World Order, all right? To have control over the people, all right? And another precept I would like to read will be from the book of Obadiah, all right? It tells you clearly that there is no unity in that confederacy. So Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7 says, no, that's not verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Yeah, so it tells you that from 2015, as far back as 2015, that the so-called NSA been working with Denmark, you know, to eavesdrop, you know, on on the so-called European allies, man. So it's not a big, you know, it's not like it's a breaking news. You know, it's like, you know, how much information have they garnered over the years and what are they going to do with it? All right. So that's the reason why they're able to strong arm these politicians to go along with the ideas for the New World Order. All right. Because almost every, you know, government official on the earth, you know, they always got dirt, whether it's from Africa to South America, you know, to Canada, to the Middle East, wherever, man. They all have dirt on every so-called government leader, man. You know, bank accounts, you know, phone records, you name it. All right, trips from one location to the other, you know, travel records and all that stuff. So, you know, it's only going to get uglier because, you know how the Lord acts, man. He always disappoints the enterprise. And then verse 7 says, all the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Yeah, so these are so-called EU nations, man. They're going to end up betraying America, all right? And as America has been destroyed from within, you know, these so-called EU allies are also scheming on how they could get rid of America's dominance. And that's one factor of the so-called New World Order, man, all right?
One of the people targeted, apparently, is German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Has there been any reaction from her or other reaction from Germany so far?
Well, the German Chancellor and the German President were apparently unaware of the extent of the cooperation between the Danish government and the NSA. They knew about spying allegations, but they didn't know that their allies were actually part of this spying scheme. There hasn't been any direct reaction from Berlin so far. A spokesperson from the Chancellery said that the Chancellor had been informed. There has been a reaction from the Danish defense minister who said that a systematic spying of allies was unacceptable. And indeed, the Danish government last year in 2020 had forced the whole leadership of its intelligence services to step down in light of this event. But they will still have a lot of explaining to do to explain why they didn't inform their allies earlier about the spying carried by its intelligence services.
Yeah, well, just how the elite operate, man. They got to play these government officials against each other. All right, so they could get what they want, and that's Amalek's, Amalek's, ulterior motive, man, to always have a one-up on his so-called siblings, man. So, precept I also like to read will be from the book of Sirach, chapter 26. Verse 5, it says, "There be three things that mine heart feareth, and the fourth I was so afraid. The slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these are worse than death." Yes, this is what makes people, lose their minds, man. It says the slander of a city, the gathering of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these are worse than death. It's torment, it's torture. When you have an unstable kingdom, where the people can't really seem to function, and there's nothing but turmoil and turmoil and turmoil, coup d'etats and everything else, false reports going out, what you say, to all this propaganda you hear on the airwaves and all that stuff. That's crazy. Just like what led up to 9/11 and all that stuff. You always have to cook up a story. And the invasion of Iraq, invasion of Afghanistan, all that, even World War One, World War Two. That's what they have to do, man. They have to manufacture, evidence. You have to manufacture scenarios and sell it to the people. And that's scary when people live in fear, okay, of their life, okay. So that's the point there, IQ. The lies, of the serpent, man. It's it just makes you wonder, how long will this continue? So that's the point there, IQ Mabaratusa. We keep on getting more information about the situation. Shalom.